Welcome to Tantric Tips with Rosie Betts. That's me. Like and subscribe for all the juicy tips around Tantra, sexuality, and body love. If you want all the juicy stuff, subscribe. It's worth it. Okay, so this week we are talking about female sexuality. Because I'm a gal, I'm a female, and I got some sexuality, and it's like one of my favorite topics ever. So just a heads up, we are going to be focusing on cisgendered women this week because that is just my lived experience and what I know the most on. I'm trying to get educated super quick about, trans women's sexuality and even non-binary sexuality and how it relates feminine and masculine. But this is where I feel like I have some expertise. So we're gonna talk about some cisgendered female sexuality. Now this is a huge topic. So we're gonna break this up into probably 3 or 4 different episodes because there's lots to talk about. But today we're gonna focus have a generalized focus around female sexuality, why it's important, and what's happening in the world. So, man, oh man, okay, I guess we're gonna start in the reverse. So what is happening in the world? So female sexuality has been seen as something that is evil, dirty, not okay. It's not something that is actually studied via science. Like, hello, we just got models of the clitoris 5-6 years ago. We just got a full look at female genitalia truly within the last 10 years. That's really new. And around female body, we just started to understand what was happening within the breasts and how things change when women go through the different times of their lives and then breastfeed and then go through menopause, like very recently. So female sexuality is not something that is supported in our society. It gets shut down. We are, as cisgendered women, our sexuality is supposed to be in service to society as a whole. So we are seen as people who need to procreate, which I think is one of the big reasons why women's value decreases after they finish their childbearing years. So women who are my age and they're like mid-40s, our value is starting to decrease as our youthfulness decreases, which is fucking ridiculous. Because number one, look at me, I'm a babe, and in mid-40s or not, I'll probably be a babe in my 50s and 60s if I just continue to be myself. And I know a lot of other women who are stunning and haven't even hit their stride, and we're actually gaining wisdom. And what's happening with our sexuality is our sexuality is expanding. So as women age, all this crazy stuff happens. Like your clitoris continues to grow. Your ability to orgasm usually increases. You have way more confidence in who you are as a person, in your body, and in your sexuality, and you actually know now what you want. So it is mind-blowing that society as a whole would want to shut down female sexuality past about 35. I guess it's not mind-blowing because, like I said, there's not a lot of support for female sexuality in the world, period, unless it's in service to procreation or to the male gaze or to just being attractive in one certain way so that people can drink us in and, get aroused from us. So why is female sexuality important, right? You may be listening to this going, yeah, that's just the way it's always been. What happened? So female sexuality is important because it's intricately tied to how we show up in the world. So sexuality and creativity are two sides to the same coin. And when you strip a woman's ability to be her full sexual and sensual self, you're stripping her ability to actually show up in the world fully and to offer her highest gifts and her highest creative vision to the world. Boom, right? And not only that, everybody, not only that. So, I've been working with people for 15 years. Majority have been women, some trans folks, lots of non-binary humans, and some cis men in there as well. And what I have experienced as people are starting to claim their sexuality, as they're starting to express their sexuality, also via creativity, is it actually has a ripple effect in their whole lives. Their whole lives get better. And I think that the reason that this is because we are set up as sexual, sensual creatures. We're actually meant to experience life via our senses, right? When we're not utilizing all of ourselves and deeply immersed in our own bodies, then we're not fully experiencing this human condition called life. We're shut down, right? And if we're living in this sort of space, I call it this space. That means like a head space, an intellect, just the space of the intellect rather than living in this space of the body. And as women, if our sexuality is shut down, we can't live in the space of the body, then, we are missing out on all the joy of actually experiencing what there is, and we're not deeply present to what's happening in our worlds, right? So that level of sensual experience is part of the key component to female sexuality. And more is actually our bodies are innervated for pleasure. We actually have nerves. As women, it's amazing. Our nervous system all goes down. So the 4 nerve pathways all go down into our genitals, right? So it's connected through our genitals. We have an organ that is just for pleasure, nothing else. Men don't have this. Like, penis has multiple different uses. Our clitoris is just for pleasure, and our clitoris is huge. It is not that little tiny little nub, that little button. It is actually huge. It's a huge part of our genitalia, and it is just for pleasure. And what happens when we're experiencing pleasure and when we are able to access our sexuality is it regulates our nervous system. It actually does things like boosts our immunity, so we're healthier overall, right? We're happier, we're able to be more creative when we're connected to our sexuality and when we're feeling pleasure. And literally, like, it balances our hormones. So again, when our hormones are balanced and we're creating like these really awesome hormones, it helps our mental health, it helps our physical health. So by shutting down female sexuality, we are shutting down female creativity. We are actually affecting female bodies. I bet you that if they were to, throw some money at this and do a study, they would find that women who are able to access their sexuality and sensuality in a healthy and safe way, which is really hard in the world we live in, probably live longer, right? Because it has all these healthful benefits. And all of these reasons are why, or all of these, this gives us a reason why to fight for our sexuality, to fight for our own sexual expression, is because it is to our benefit. It is to our highest benefit. It's going to keep us alive longer. It's going to make us more present for our families. It's going to make us more kick-ass in the business field. Everything, because it's connected. And truly, from a tantric standpoint, our sexuality, our sexual power and energy is the highest form of energy we have ability to connect with as humans, right? So if you think about that, and anybody who is a cis woman is just going to relate to this. When your sexuality is shut down, then your power source is shut down. And man, oh man, I feel this. I went through about 1.5 years of really feeling disconnected from my sexuality. And I was already, I was a tantrika, I was already trained, but, through some physical health conditions and some challenges in a relationship, I really lost my libido and felt completely disconnected from my sexuality, which I had never felt in my entire life. And it shut down everything. My ability to be creative was hugely reduced. My ability to relate to other people, my energy, all of those things were depleted incredibly. And it took some time, and I feel so grateful that I have the tools that I have, that I was able to get back in touch with my sexuality and do some healing in that area. Because literally what I was told from the medical field was, oh, you're in your 40s, that's perimenopause. You should just be happy if you ever feel sexual passion again. Like, this is sexuality for you now. What the fuck? And that was, you know, awful to hear. And thank God I had the knowledge that I do have, because I was able to be like, no, you're wrong. Number one, you're wrong. You think all women over 42 are supposed to just not have a sexuality, right? And I actually know ways to recreate this. And in the healing of that, you know, in going through and healing those physical things I needed to heal with, doing some of that inner work that I needed to do around, you know, the partnership that I was in, I have slowly built back my libido. And as my libido has risen, my life force, literally my life force has risen. I have more energy. I am definitely more creative. I'm back to being a deeply creative person. My focus is back. And all of that had to do with being able to get back in touch with my sexuality. Now, you know, I've had the deep, incredible pleasure of living a life where I get to express my sexuality on stage. And it has been profoundly healing, like profoundly healing. And I've watched hundreds of women go through my burlesque course, claim their sexuality, be able to express it in the way that they want to, often on stage, and I've seen huge transformations happen in their lives. So I can't underline enough how important it is that as women we claim our sexuality. And I just want to point out too, before I end this video, you know what you think is healthy sexuality for you as a woman, that's it. That's the fucking truth, right? It's unique. I hate when people say, this is what healthy female sexuality looks like. They don't fucking know. You know. You are the highest authority about what is right for you, what feels good for you, what is juicy for you. So don't take my word. That's why I'm not giving you like a parameter, like you have to feel sexy in this way and this many times and blah, 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 blah. No, your sexuality is about you. If you're feeling good and enlivened, that's healthy sexuality. If you're not, then reach out to somebody like me. Reach out to, you know, a tantrika. Go take a burlesque course. Reach out to a sexologist to give you some support, because we can help you get there to what you think is going to be healthy sexuality for you. And please, please, please don't allow the medical system to inform you about what healthy sexuality is or isn't, because they are going to send you a bill of goods. They're going to sell you a bill of goods that is a bunch of bullshit, right? When you lose your libido because you're on the birth control pill, they're going to say, well, that's just normal. That's what happens. That's what you have to expect. As you age and you lose your libido, or you have challenges with things like lubrication, they're going to say, that's just normal. Also bullshit. So you define what healthy sexuality is for you, what it looks like and what it feels like. And if you're not in that place, reach out to me and I'm going to help you get there, or I'm going to share, you know, I'm going to just bring in other people to support you. Okay, that's the first video, healthy sexuality for women. Let's talk about female sexuality. And we're going to get into, you know, in this series, all sorts of juicy things, like how sensual movement helps, you know, get all that juiciness flowing, helps with orgasms, you know, really ignites your creativity. We're going to talk about how body love relates to healthy sexuality, because that's a big one. We're going to get into a bunch of topics. But for right now, there are some buttons down there. One of them is for my free gift. So grab that free gift. It is a little mini course. You're going to love it. It's free, which is awesome. You're gonna jump on my Facebook group, Rosie's Magic Land, for lots of other juicy stuff. And you know what? You can leap back to another one of my videos around female orgasm, which, you know, orgasms, we wanna have those. So it's about how to have a vaginal orgasm. So jump onto that. Okay, love you so much, and I will see you again.